Aliens invade Earth after receiving a signal from NASA. But the crew of the John Paul Jones and their comrades engage the attackers in a vicious sea battle. So the American and Japanese navies join forces in a fight for the survival of the human race in Battleship.
A7.
Miss.
Man.
You know what? I can't deal with this anymore. Let's just talk about the movie Battleship.
Really, I'm having fun.
Anyway, let's talk about the movie Battleship. We've all just seen it. Sean.
I have to say that Battleship is a miss. It's a straightforward picture that is very much in the tradition of movies like Transformers. And it's more like that than it is about any kind of board game that we have here. It's an alien invasion picture we've seen before. We've seen it in Independence Day. We've seen it in Battle LA just last year.
That's right.
It just basically steals everything from movies that have come before it. And it's cheesy, but I don't think that it's cheesy enough. I think it could embrace its cheese far more than it does.
There were a lot of films that have been made over the last 50 years that these filmmakers could have borrowed from, and they did borrow from, liberally. Yeah. They just didn't do a good job of cobbling together all of these pieces. I also think that there's a lot of pandering going on in this film, where we've got this international coalition of folks who have to work together to save humanity. And it's clear that this particular film is meaning to please the entire world at the same time.
And other alien movies like Independence Day or Transformers, they worked because they were just alien movies. The problem with this movie is that it wanted to be a naval movie, it wanted to be an international movie where people are working together, it wanted to be an alien movie, and there's too many questions that were never answered. Like, why were the aliens, when they would see people, they wouldn't attack them, but then they would see like boats or things like that, and then they would attack.
I think it's kind of like Predator, if you remember Predator, where Arnold would go, "He didn't kill you because he wanted the arm." So the aliens are going after people with guns on their ships, right. But if they're harmless, we leave them alone.
Arnold explained it in Predator. The problem is no one ever explained anything in this movie. It's just things happened. It's almost like if you had seen other movies, you just guess that this is the reason it happens in this movie, but you can't just rely on that.
No.
They spent a lot of time working on the spectacular, the largeness, the loudness of the film, and they spent a lot of time ignoring story. And I think that's one of the big fatal flaws of this particular film.
Well, they kind of found some interesting ways to use the Hasbro game in the movie. I mean, the aliens fire these projectiles that look like pegs that hit the battleships.
Right.
So it's like, oh, they're pegs. Wow. This is really like the board game.
You almost could tell this story without it being Battleship. Especially since they don't give us the line, "You sank my battleship," which Liam Neeson really should have said.
Should have said that.
B3. You sunk my battleship.
Well, there's a Friday Night Lights connection in this movie because Peter Berg directed the Friday Night Lights movie and then the pilot of the TV show with Taylor Kitsch, who is our lead in this picture. And after John Carter in this picture, I'm not a big Taylor Kitsch fan. I don't think he's got a lot of whatever it takes to be a movie star.
I disagree with you. He's just cast in these movies that just don't give him much to do. I don't think it's him as an actor.
You don't get the actual reluctant hero, you get an imitation of a reluctant hero. And he's telegraphing what he's doing so far in advance that by the time he arrives on the scene, he's already stale.
Get your ass to CIC. Now!
This is stunt casting for Rihanna. It's clear that this is supposed to catapult her into an acting career. And she was fine. She was basically being Rihanna, and it was a gesture towards pulling at her demographic as a way of having some crossover.
My dad said they'd come. Said it my whole life. He said one day we'd find them, or they'd find us. You know what else he said? He said, "I hope I ain't around when that day comes."
There were times in this movie, especially during the climactic showdown with the alien vessel, that I was kind of into this movie. I was like, yes, go get those aliens. And I have to say that that's probably Peter Berg doing something right.
He has a very clear eye for visual style. I think it's the way that he cobbles it all together that always just kind of misses the mark.
This movie, the action just came at me. I never had time to really digest the action. I never had time to really get to know the characters. And this movie actually made me want Michael Bay to step in. I can't believe I'm saying this. I was thinking about Armageddon, which is a big spectacle movie. They gave you a long time to really get to know the characters, to have comedy in there, and then the big action sequence happened at the end. But in this movie, you never had time for that, and the funny moments, they were just like a snippet after some action, and then more action occurred. In this movie's defense, though, the special effects looked great.
I agree. I wanted to see the alien ship do some more transforming. I wanted to hear it be even louder. I loved that it would, when it rev up and then it would shoot these things and then it would embed themselves in the side of the boats and explode. I thought that was great. Battleship is a cheese-tastic spectacle. And as long as audiences are clear on that, they'll be fine. Otherwise, Battleship is not destination viewing. Skip it.
I'm afraid you won't leave the theater without much more than a sinking feeling about Battleship. Skip it.
When it comes to summer blockbusters, there may be stronger action movies or stronger alien movies to see. Skip it.
Mahalo, motherfucker.